Hey guys, I want to talk to you about a wrestling show I watched here on YouTube over at Title Match Wrestling's page. It was called Night of Superstars 3, but it was also mentioned as Night of Legends 3. But if you search for it, it's Night of Superstars 3. 2004, Waynesboro, West Virginia, packed house. It's a fundraising show for the University of Virginia. Show opens with a big USA chant. You know, I'm a big fan of that. The Stro, who was Maestro in WCW, takes on someone named the Kamikaze Kid. Lots of chops in this match. Stro really tried to get the crowd into it, and they went along with it for the most part. Pretty basic match, really overly long, though. Then we had Masked Superstar against Bugsy McGraw, which is exactly what the way you'd think it would. It was like an old school match, really slow paced. Heel versus face, had a really strange finish. That moved into David Flair and NWO Sting against Body Count, who were like these two prison guys. I'm sorry, I'm not really familiar with Body Count. Way too long. This was kind of a rough match. David Flair had to get carried through it. Everybody else was okay. Flair kind of stunk the place up, but way too long of a match. Then we get Dusty Rhodes against Kamala in the weirdest match on this card. Definitely like nostalgia fueled. Dusty gets put into a nerve hold for what seems like a half an hour, and he keeps doing the almost get out of it, but doesn't, over and over again, almost to a comedic level. So actually, this was probably my favorite match on the card just because it was so ridiculous. Then we move into Powers of Pain with Uncle Ivan Koloff against Rick Steiner and Road Warrior Animal with Magnum TA. This was a pretty straightforward, like old school style tag match. It was actually pretty decent. I mean, all these guys are pretty familiar with each other, so they work together really well. Nothing to write home about, but a solid, watchable nostalgia match. And then finally, the main event was the Fantastics versus the Midnight Express with the illegitimate son of Jim Cornette. He was actually not bad on the mic, but not Cornette, that's for sure. This match was okay, I guess. It was like, again, just kind of an old school tag team match. Crowd was into it. It had some good moments. So it was just kind of, a fun nostalgia match, which is pretty much like this entire card, I feel like. Like the in-ring work isn't the best. Not, like some of the guys are past their prime, obviously, but I just think it was kind of like a little, nostalgia card to see some guys, see some matchups maybe we hadn't seen before, hadn't seen in a while. The Dusty Kamala match is just ridiculous and should be seen. But anyway, that's Night of Superstars 3 over at Title Match Wrestling. Thank you for watching this review, and hopefully I'll see you soon.